Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me, for listening. And yeah, here I am after a little bit of a break this time. I've been preparing to travel, and currently I am in Europe, in Germany, and I thought it is way beyond podcast time. And yeah, I'd love to give you a bit of an update where we are at. So today here is the 13th of November, a Wednesday. So I'll be looking into the energies for the rest of the week and into next week and what we can expect and how we can best navigate. So probably a lot of you have been going through a bit of an intense time as we have been engaging within the realms of Scorpio. So today I'll be addressing the Sun moving through Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. So we have a powerhouse of intensity. Then also on the 9th of November, Mercury went retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, will go into Scorpio next week, about mid next week, and keep on retrograding until early December. So we're in it. We are, yeah, within the season where we are reassessing, readjusting, where we are taking detours, where we are hopefully as flexible as possible and open for change. So also, as we can see, this Mercury retrograde has just been meeting up with Mars in Sagittarius. So more fiery action here. Then also, what else do we have? We have a water trine, actually a grand water trine. So I'll be talking about that, as well as planet Uranus, mover and shaker, revolutionary, rebel, and sudden epiphanies, all of that, shaking the grounds a bit. So Uranus is retrograde and has been for a bit, but the big difference now is, and also around the 9th, so not long ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, we had Mercury stationing to go retrograde. Uranus, for the last time in our lifetime, Uranus does a 84, 85 year cycle, and for the last time in this lifetime, for most of us, we will see Uranus in the sign of Taurus until the end of April. So I'll be addressing that, what that might mean for us. And also our benevolent planet Jupiter in the exalted sign of Cancer is now retrograde as well. So quite a bit going on here energetically, our psychological urges, because of course the planets are a divine imprint and are in dialogue with our own personal individual blueprint. So of course there is a collective energy, but also there is an energy particularly for us as individuals as well. And if we know our birth chart, then we have a good idea what might be going on at the moment and how we can best navigate through any kind of challenges for possibly. And yeah, so where am I going to start? So we have a lot of water at the moment, and water is the element of feelings, emotions, a deep dive into our subconscious. So we have the sun still for another about 9 days in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is the sign of intensity, greatest passion. There is, yeah, we don't have small talks when it comes to Scorpio. There is a deep essence, there is transformation, life, death, rebirth, all of that, nothing less. And yeah, and with Scorpio, the shadow aspects can come up, of course, particularly during a Mercury retrograde, where, yeah, betrayal, jealousy, all of that deeply obsessive feelings that can arise at this point in time. Also, we have a personal planet, goddess Venus. She's also in Scorpio, and she is feisty, she's intense, she might be reactive at times, and another deep dive of our feeling world. And Also with Venus, she's furthest away in the sign of Scorpio because Venus rules Taurus. So in Scorpio, there's a certain discomfort within. Our desire nature might be heightened. We may go through extremes. Through this moment, I desire this, and then I want that, and I want you, and I might be obsessive, compulsive, not very rational. So and that intensity can be really deep. And so just a quick look ahead. So Venus will be in the sign of Scorpio also until the 1st of December when Mercury goes direct as well. So I really feel when those two personal planets are really working together in many ways and taking us on a deep dive, on a deep inner journey to excavate our truth, our deep honesty with ourselves, excavating the jewels within. What is my truth now? Where is the wealth inside? The wisdom, the wealth and power of my own self-knowledge and wisdom. So we got a lot happening here. And of course, there is also whenever Mercury goes retrograde, and particularly over the last 2 days, Mercury has been journeying together with Mars in Sagittarius. That's also Mars is the god of war and fighting and being reactive, being assertive, fierce, reactive. So also this Mercury in Sagittarius now retrograde. Yes, there is a greater vision, there is a fire within that is burning bright, there is like a divine pilgrimage that we are on. And when Mercury and Mars come together, we're definitely more prone for arguments. There can be a trigger, and boom, we go off, we defend ourselves. And we know, like, whenever we are in an argument and the situation is heated, it never goes anywhere good. It doesn't, it's never a supportive conversation that we can have, supporting of an equal respect, equal visions, and accepting, maybe agreeing to disagree. So if anything has been stirring you deep inside and you've been feeling that conversations are just not going anywhere, and it is likely at the moment, and also likely until early December, the 1st of December, while Mercury is transiting through Sagittarius and then moving, and I'll talk about that more next week on the 19th of November. Mercury is going to start his deep dive in the sign of Scorpio and will keep going retrograde until the 20-degree point, the 20-degree mark of Scorpio. So again, there is this, yeah, deep feelings. There is, and Mercury is already the messenger god, the one that takes the souls into their deep subconscious. We meet Mercury when we are at a crossroads, when, yeah, when Mercury showed up. I feel like a bit like Pluto in a way. Pluto rendered himself invisible and only appeared when we are only appears when we are in a deep transformational phase. So there's a lot going on here, and I feel like Mercury transiting, meeting up with Mars in Sagittarius, next week in Scorpio. We're really on a journey, a pilgrimage into the cavities of our own soul, and the depth of our being, of our wholeness. There is light and there is shadow. So, and particularly while the sun moves through the sign of Scorpio, we might be excavating a lot more shadow material, which can be more right in your face. It can be very uncomfortable. We don't want to see it. We might encounter that with another person as well. So that is possible, of course, in relationships. Scorpio rules intimate relationships. It's that area in astrology, the eighth house. It's marriage, divorce, it's ancestry, it's inheritance. It's the area where we commit, where we meet on a very intimate level. So in Scorpio, and as the sun is moving through Scorpio over the next days, the sun will come together We're talking next Monday, 17th, 18th. The Sun will join Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, and also Mercury is right on the cusp on that at that time on the 18th of going deeper into the underworld, into Scorpio. So there could be themes around the suppressed feminine, also suppressed masculine. Where have we been holding ourselves back? Where may I not be living my own truth, and an implosiveness that could be created here, that could come up, and so we don't want to hold back. We need to express, we need to excavate, we need to let go. Scorpio is the sign of letting go, of also of our whole digestive processes, of elimination. So right now is a time to eliminate pain body responses and reactions, eliminate anything that's in the body that is no longer serving us. And that can be, of course, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, whatever it is. Stuff is up for us to look at, to go on a deep dive. And it's not easy. So this is not an easy passage throughout November. It's fairly intense, especially, yeah, with Venus, Sun, Black Moon, Lilith in the sign of Scorpio, Mercury's retrograde, challenging us from all directions. But at the same time, I always feel when Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year for 3 weeks, it is a great time to readjust, reevaluate, to prepare for what's to come when Mercury gains momentum again early December. So a really good time for preparation, maybe when we read materials, anything that's often hard to understand. So now is a really good time to grab this book, grab this material that you feel, whoa, I struggle reading that, and I might have to read it 5 times until I get it. But Mercury, when Mercury goes retrograde, it opens up that invitation to understand things more on a deeper level as we are meeting the messenger God right at the crossroads. And suggesting that deep self evaluation, as well as a deeper wisdom that wants to come through. And talking about deeper wisdom, so we have Uranus backwards, seemingly moving backwards in the sign of Taurus. And I said earlier, for the last time in this lifetime, because Uranus has an 85-year cycle, and most of us may or may not experience another cycle. Anyway, so from now until end of April, we have another. So Uranus is the revolutionary. It's the god, the spirited god, the god of lightning strikes and lightning bolts. And there is sudden, swift, quick moves here. There is this shakiness in Taurus, the shaking of Mother Earth. There is something also of our body. Uranus is spirit. I feel there's also the opportunities, great opportunities, and invitation to connect with our greater self, with a higher version of ourselves. We might have epiphanies, we have new ideas, information coming through. So there's a lot happening. It's almost like it's an upgrade of our beingness over the next so many months until the 23rd of April. So we are upgrading, we are yeah, we're becoming lighter. We are more connecting more with our light body. Yes, we're in physical form, but I feel like we are many, many layers. However many layers, there is very different views and all of that. And I don't want to get into it because, yeah, we all have a different view on this human experience. I do feel that yes, we're in physical form, but of course, there's so much more to us. And there's a light body. And I feel Uranus represents the light body information that wants to come through to really upgrade our human experience in this physical form. And that comes with changes. We might experience body sensations and changes. And so there's just so much going on within as we're going through this upgrade. So also Taurus has to do, of course, with our earthliness, with our value system, self-worth, and also, of course, earthly possessions and how our worthiness is tied into this, what we own, what we have, also money, monetary considerations. So with Uranus here, we might be expecting over the next month until end of April changes in our financial system, however that's going to look. Something might be getting shaken up and some big changes, and the changes can be very sudden. And that's the thing here also with Uranus going retrograde in Taurus. It's a paradoxical energy because Uranus wants to dissolve and transmute any kind of stagnation, and it wants to be quick and like a lightning strike. And often we feel like that. It's like the rug gets pulled beneath our feet and boom, something happens. But then in the sign of Taurus, Taurus is the slowest sign in the whole zodiacal wheel. The second sign, first earth sign in the wheel. But there's only one gear for Taurus, which is slower. So we want to take our time. And I feel what's really important here is to have some grounding practices to however that looks for you, to feel we are in the body, because also we don't have any other earth energy other than Uranus in Taurus, and that's not much, and that is shaky already. So our whole physical, mental, emotional bodies, everything is up for, yeah, to have a look at it. The South Node in Virgo is a reminder to discern, to maybe, yeah, to let go, to purge, to look after our physical vessel, to look at our diet, to also letting go of any kind of thought processes. And that's a really big one at this point in time with Mercury retrograde and the South Node in Virgo, also ruled by Mercury. There is something around our brain, our thinking. Are we thinking compulsively? Is there parasitic thinking, thought forms? There is a lot right now, I feel, that is coming up for us to let go of and to evaluate and have a look at where it's all coming from, and how we are engaging. Are we reacting? Are we giving into adhering to those thoughts that sometimes we could go in circles with all our thinking? So it's important again to find a sense of groundedness and a sense of nothingness, where we are not thinking, where we are not making permanently working, making plans and pushing things along, because during a Mercury retrograde and South Node in Mercury ruled Virgo, we want to slow down a bit and step back and evaluate, reevaluate, and prepare in order to be ready for greater momentum come early, come early December. And we're very supported. We got talking about retrograde planets. So we got a few retrogrades happening right now. We got Saturn and Neptune both moving backwards in the sign of Pisces, also reminding us it's that what is ready to let go of? What can we again purge, reassess? What are we willing to let go of? And maybe there's grief, maybe there's resentments, there is any dreams we haven't lived yet. There can be, yeah, it's a letting go process. So that, in addition to a strong Scorpio energy and already a deep dive with Mercury into our inner cavities, there is a lot of letting go for each individual. So if we can cultivate the Piscean compassion for one another, so that will be really good, because everyone is going through their own processes. No one is the same. So can we allow space for each other? Can we be compassionate with each other? Because this is a deep dive, and Saturn and Uranus, both retrograde in Pisces, they will then move into Aries by mid-February. So again, from now until mid-February, we are adjusting, we are evaluating and really feeling into the depth of our being, and And Pisces is that wisdom. It's the last sign of the zodiacal wheel where something is ending, and Saturn is showing us that the cycle of endings and beginnings. The Saturn rules the last card in the major arcana. It's the card of the world. It's the Ouroboros. It's the snake biting in its own tail, meaning that yes, there is endings, and the beginnings are already happening. There is, yeah, and also it's how we do endings is how we do beginnings. And also we know that this year is coming to an end soon, and so it is really how are we closing out phases, patterns in our life in order to be reborn, to bring in the new, which is already here anyway. And how are we closing out this year in order to birth a new year and a new you, a new me. So these are really big considerations. And I feel again deep compassion with ourselves, cutting ourselves some slack, not being hard, and to be, yeah, and open-minded too, being flexible, because especially during Mercury retrograde, we don't need to be, but it helps being flexible and not being too rigid. And also Saturn rules the spine. We can get rigid, we can get fragile because of our insistence on how things should look like and how they should turn out. And so if we can let go of any sense of control at this point in time, the better we will move along, because there is detours and certain yeah, remapping is happening anyway. And if we can be flexible, then we can say, oh, okay, so I ended up here. I thought I would go that way, and now I'm here, and it's maybe not all that bad. It's just different. So if we can see it as that and not judge it, then that would help a lot. Talking about judgment, we have, so Jupiter is the Zeus, Jupiter, the god, the yeah, the godhead of all the gods. So there is so Jupiter also just went retrograde only a couple of days ago. So Jupiter is about faith into the future. We have visions. We are trusting. We it's Jupiter is the guardian angel, is the most benevolent of planets. So there is an envisioning of the future, of the here and now, where we are, where we want to go. So now that Jupiter is retrograde, I'm just gonna have a quick look for how long. So Jupiter will be retrograde into the next year until, what are we looking at? January, February, most likely. So again, we have quite a big window. Oh, actually, we're looking into March. So excuse me. So Jupiter is going backwards, seemingly backwards in the exalted sign of Cancer to 15 degrees of Cancer when Jupiter stations to go direct on the 10th of March. So it really feels like the time we're in right now, we are given we are given many opportunities to go within, to adjust any goals and visions, because when Jupiter goes retrograde, Jupiter, if all our goals and what we are envisioning, what we've been working on, projects, from now until the 10th of March, there is a revisiting, a refinement, and also tuning in and feeling into the goals that I have, that I had. So are they aligning with who I am now? Is it, yeah, is there anything that needs adjustment? Also, with Jupiter in Cancer, there's a deep and inner emotional part. What makes me feel safe? What makes me feel secure? So we might be evaluating that any kind of visions that we had, how we're gonna go for towards something, towards a goal. There might be a re-evaluating towards, okay, does that make me feel safe? How does that make me feel? Especially, so that can come up in relationships, that can come up in any kind of projects and situations where we are tuning in and feeling into, where do I want to go from here? What is it that I want? Um, so And this is not to take the wind out of our eagle arms, but to so don't be surprised if things are a bit are slowing down right now. In order again for us to readjust, to reevaluate, to feel into yeah, where we want to go and how we want to move towards that goal or towards the goals that we have as a greater vision ahead. So overall, I feel that the universe is really inviting us to keep on moving forwards, to prepare, to be attuned with our inner world, to allow that awareness when we know when we might be when we are not in attunement, in alignment with our with our greater calling. And so it's a deep healing time, and also a time to slow down a bit, which I find very challenging. And especially, yeah, when we are a bit out of our comfort zone, or we are adjusting to different rhythms. So that can be, yeah, quite a time of adjusting, especially when we are called and pulled in such a deep dive into our inner world. And in our inner world, of course, there are all the memories are stored, the physical memories, the emotional memories of past wounds. So things can come up right now to our awareness, and hopefully we can navigate with, yeah, with that loving compassion for ourselves, for one another, and yeah, and thrive within those new ways of being. So yes, so much going on. Yeah, I felt so. It's a powerful week, and the month will continue powerfully with so much Scorpio action. But we are divinely guided towards a future, a holistic future self where, yeah, that we can trust and also and have fun with. It's so important to have joy and fun and be childlike and lighthearted, which can sometimes not come so easily during intense times like these. Anyway, I'll leave it with this and I'll talk to you next week. We have a new moon next week in the sign of Scorpio, so keep on tuned, and yeah, have a beautiful week wherever you are. Sending lots of love from Germany, where I am right now. Feeling very grateful to be here, and also learning new healing techniques, which I will love to share with you in the near future. And yeah, I'm here with my beloved, and we both learning a lot, and it's exciting times with all the challenges that come with it as well. So, so much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.